Hi, I'm Steve Clemens, and I have a question. The West likes to dismiss the Brics alliance as a political sideshow, but is it starting to crack the U.S.-led global order? Let's get to the bottom line. Next week, the group of countries known as the Brics meet in Russia for its annual summit. After the Alliance of Emerging Economies expanded last year, these 9 countries now represent a bigger slice of global wealth than the G7, the main economic group of the United States and its junior partners. Population-wise, BRICS represents about 5 times more people around the world than these G7 nations, and it literally has 40 countries knocking on its door to join. But what power does it really have? And can the BRICS pose a challenge to America's grip on global dominance and the global economy, even if it wanted to?
Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written,
Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me,
Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her.
Today we're talking with Richard Wolff, Professor Emeritus of Economics at the University of Massachusetts and author of more than a dozen books on the global economy, including Democracy at Work, A Cure for Capitalism. Richard, it's a real honor to have you on the show today. And I want to just ask you, like, point blank, BRICS, is it a real new thing that's going to challenge the American global order, or is it still an illusion?
Well, the short answer to your question is it's a real thing, not an illusion. It's already challenged the order that was dominated by the United States, and it promises to continue to do so. It certainly is, as we are speaking. It is only wishful thinking on the part of the major countries of what we used to call the collective West, or maybe should still call it. It's a self-delusion on the part of the West to minimize it, to brush it off. Really is a new world order that we are living through. And I believe many of the problems, many of the tensions, many of the hostilities we are in the midst of, as you and I are speaking, are derivative from, are shaped by the challenge posed by the BRICS.
So when I look at this group of nations, it's hard for me to understand, what do they represent? What are they for in terms of, I know that they may be against American dominance, but what are they collectively for?
They should not be thought of as some sort of monolith. They aren't. But they share that the highest priority they have is to emerge from the state of underdevelopment, less development, whatever language you find comfortable. These are countries that don't yet have the standard of living of the United States.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
And who do not accept the notion that they can't or mustn't or shouldn't aspire to at least the same standard of living, if not, in fact, a higher standard. And they want the freedom and they want the opportunity to do so.
Revelation 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death.
And now the tension. They feel that the United States, with its major allies, the G7, that is Canada, Japan, Britain, France, Italy, and Germany, those 7 have held them back. First, as colonies, and secondly, as pariahs, as nations that are hemmed in by all kinds of restrictions. That is what's unacceptable. That is what they agree on, and that's where the rub with the G7 emerges.